Hello, everybody, and welcome to the big announcement of the August Lighting Challenge winner. First up, and it looks like, as you guys can see, we have a ton of submissions. We have over 50 total images to go through today. We're not going to go through all of them. Don't worry. We're going to hit some highlights. But first up, I want to announce the September Lighting Challenge is underway. We have Poker Puss here. Poker Puss was designed by the lovely Chris Ayers. Chris is an art director at Disney. He developed this incredible creature. Our asset artist, Sarah Tarr, who's phenomenal, saw it because we've worked with Chris in the past. And he designed Sir Desmond Rotundus, the bat. And she said, I love this and I absolutely have to make this. So we contacted him. He said, go for it. So now he's all ready for you all to download and start lighting now. So that will be the September lighting challenges. Rules are all the same. So without much further ado, let's get into Adam. Just rotate my body over here. I can take a look at the other screen. Okay. So lots and lots and lots of incredible images that were created for Adam here. There's so much to pull from, so many positive qualities. There were just a ton of really cool situations, because that was one of my concerns with this, was like, you know, he kind of has this couch. He's kind of limited to the type of room that he's in, like, or is everyone going to stick to a living room? But we kind of ended up all over the place with him in different locations under different settings. And it was just, the results were incredibly beautiful. And to be honest with you all, like, you guys kill me every time. I'm actually regretting even having a winner to announce with these, because it just makes it so difficult. But in this particular case, although there were some really incredible ones, there was one, you can see here, Mauro even animated the lights from a movie theater going off. It's very cool. But there was one that stood out to us as being a notch above. And so without much further ado, we'll go ahead and announce that Mr. Juan Lopez has won our August Lighting Challenge. And he won it for this image here. We'll go ahead and say winner. Yay. So it was this image here that really won it. And the reason why we picked this one was it not only it matched and exceeded a lot of the other submissions for a couple reasons. Like, obviously he's got the good shaping. He's got lots of really strong colors. He's creating a really strong mood. But he's doing something specifically, not only with setting the mood, but directing the viewer's eye in this shot that is unique as a lighting design. And it's just special. And it's using the reflection from this rear view mirror back onto the face to create this square that focuses in on his eyes. And it sounds simple, but that is a truly unique and thoughtful and clever way of handling a lighting situation. And that is exactly what we're looking for. It's utilizing the physical space of the characters in, the intrinsic lighting qualities within that space to, again, push the mood and direct the viewer's eye. So just using that reflected light into the scene is something really beautiful. And again, like, looking at his reference, he's not only, he could have just found this image from Onward and been like, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to get some rimming on the characters, make them a little dark over light. But he kept digging and he found this other reference. And actually, he did a better job than even this photograph, which, by the way, is totally fake, to really kind of center the eyes on the face. Now, if it was just that and the other elements of the image weren't there, it wouldn't be strong enough to win. But we're seeing a lot of other really good things. These headlights and the fact that he's using that light to kind of pollute the air around it. And we can see kind of a segmented here where we've got blue haze and kind of a red haze over here. And he's using that haze to create layering back behind the heavier contrast on the character. And we can see that haze kind of creep into the background a little bit. Even like from the far back of the car to the back seat to the front, there's a subtle like 1, 2, 3 as we step through that space in terms of the black point and the dark value. It's really able to pull forward. I love some of the subtle like rim light here the blue to red rim light on the back of the seat, and just kind of utilizing that to, again, create a strong scene overall. And then, you know, like he's got the subtle speck on the hair. The speck looks great on this hair over here. Wrapping around from left to right is looking really good. And it shouldn't go without saying that the subtlety in the shaping in the shadows looks easy, but is incredibly difficult. It is incredibly difficult. Like getting this subtle bit of shaping into the skin on the fill side, you can see some variation across here. Some variation from light to dark as we come across from here across to this side. Some subtle subsurface scattering behind the ears. So overall, and then also like the eye dings in a good position, and also referencing the flashing lights around him, even though like I'm not quite sure that angle would work out quite right, but like it really ties the whole thing together. And again, it feels like night. There is shaping. It's just a really, really, really strong image from concept to execution, and therefore we felt that it deserved the win this time of month. So congratulations, Juan. This is a big win for you. We'll be reaching out to you because, again, you get a $100 Amazon gift card. So we will look forward to being in contact with you about that soon. Check your DMs in the Facebook group here. But outside of that, let me just kind of go through a few more. We'll kind of go through, you know what, I'll go through each one. Again, there's a lot and I don't want to bore you guys. So we'll go through them semi-quickly. But I just kind of want to touch on all of them because I know how hard you all worked on all of these. And I want to give you an opportunity to continue to improve and grow if you so want to. So Abhishek, ignore that. That was just me testing before we got started here. Just a really nice job. You did a beautiful work of getting the warm tones of the character to separate from the background, good shaping, a good directing the viewer's eye. There's nothing technically wrong with this image. The only thing is it's got some technical issues again with this dark line around the edge of the sofa here. And then also it's similar to what it's similar to what the original was. So it wasn't like on itself as a whole, as part of like a thing that goes on your demo reel, it'll be great. But in terms of this competition, it was just too similar to what we were seeing from the original. And you didn't push the story far outside of what we already presented to you. But other than that, like I said, this is a very, very strong image. AJ, same thing here. Like really, really strong image, similar situation. His skin tone's feeling a little bit too much on the red side. I would pull out some of those reds. He's just kind of extreme and sunburnt. And then a little bit of light wrap coming around here on the edge of this couch would be nice. It's a little crispy around the edges. And I would like to see more key light on the couch. Like if we're seeing this much difference between the key light to the fill light back here and key light on his face, I would expect a stronger key in this region of the couch. And same thing along the blanket going over from left to right. I feel like both of those could have been a little bit stronger. But like I said, the shaping's there. The character lighting's good. This is setting up to be really, really well. Anand, really cool stuff. There's actually quite a few. We'll go through all the movie theater ones. There's, I believe, 3 movie theaters in here. So this was Ashley, Anand, and there was one other one. Oh yeah, Morrow. So I'll talk about all 3 of them. So here's Morrow's. And I just want you to kind of like absorb these in a little bit, and we'll go back to yours. Ashley's, and then back to yours here. So biggest thing is just the amount of lightness in the background. There's not a lot of shape back here. It's all just kind of one tone. The other 2 examples did a really good job of getting the character to pop off from the background and kind of read forward. In fact, you guys use the exact same reference. So look how bright the up character's face is here versus him. Again, rim light on the characters in the background, rim on the chair, brightness here, but it fades off. Where this brightness kind of stays consistent through the back, or there's no like centralization around, like we've got this square, but there's no like there's no difference between the value here and the value over here. It's just like and then again, in terms of the character's face, just a lot more shaping coming across here. And you've got a really nice reflection in the eyes. So it'd just be nice to get more shaping, some more rims on the seats, and just more separation from the character over background overall. Asha, good stuff. Saturation point. Like this is looking really great because this is looking upward shaping. Check out the nose, really great shaping coming across the nose, the eyes. Love, love, love the way these teeth are around the eyeball. It makes it creepy. And that's definitely something you want to mimic if you're matching this reference. This saturation point is too strong. I would pull back that saturation quite a bit. And then look at like the way that we're getting specularity on the lip, there on the chin, and just kind of mimicking that because some of this is looking a little bit dry. And then paying attention to how dark we're getting up here versus up here, which is getting a little bit glowy. And in terms of the background, just make sure that the foreground is brighter. And then the background right now, this part of the background is getting very bright. So start with that focus and then we'll go from there. Ashley, looking great. A little bit of red out of the skin tone, just a touch. I think we can go brighter on the sign back here. But overall, really strong shaping, strong coming across here, strong separation from the background. It would be nice, I think, if we toned it down a little bit and allowed this to get into like a little bit more darkness. Let's see the reference. Maybe not. That's actually looking kind of nice back there. Yeah. Love the specularity you're getting on the skin here. A little bit of a tight shadow around there. We could soften that just a touch, but love this little bit of speck you're getting around the side here. Coming around the side. I would just, I know we mess with the depth of field a lot, but the separation between his shoulder and the seat feels a little bit extreme. I would take, by like 2 pixels, take down the blur on the chairs. But overall, this one's looking really, really nice. Danny, tough lighting scenario, but you continue to work at it and it's continuing to look better. Love the softness coming across him. You've kind of eliminated that rough shape on his face. Love that we're kind of zeroing in here. Watch out for this sharp line. Let's see, that was kind of an extreme line. Right here, there's a sharp line that kind of cuts through there. I want to make sure that we're not causing a problem there. It looks like there would be more light here on this blanket, maybe just a touch. And then if we could, it would be nice to get a little bit of a stronger rim on him and just kind of wrapping him around. And if there's any way to kind of create a little bit more shaping up underneath this nose would be really helpful. And maybe creating some more separation between the chin and the neck would be really great too. But again, really great progress. Daniel. Beautiful stuff. Love the color palette. The softness in the skin looks really good. It looks very skinny with the pores and the specular highlight there. Loving that. He feels very small with the extreme amount of depth of field. He definitely feels like a little a toy almost. And I think that's pretty cool. Color scheme is nice too. Again, getting his warm tones to pop off from the cooler background. It'd be nice to get a little bit more of a specular highlight in the eye there. Love the shaping you're getting across the hair. This back of the pants is looking a little bit blue saturated. I would tone that down. And then if there's any way, it's just like this amount of light on his back feels a little much with him being directly in contact with the couch. It almost feels like that should be a little bit darker. Like there's a rim light that's kind of penetrating through there. So just something to watch out for there. But overall, these are looking, yeah, these are great. I think you should be, I like, this is a nice, easy one to add to your demo reel. I like the amount of haze that you've got on the character. Normally, I would say to pull that off a little bit, but it is working out pretty well. It would mostly because if you didn't, this would just be like super crunched in here. In fact, if there's any way to pull a little bit of value out of these dark areas, that would be really beneficial too. But great job. This one's looking great. David, love these. Love the softness that you're getting on the skin. I think that is a huge positive quality on these. The biggest area, let's see, let's kind of go through each one. So the biggest area that I was seeing on this one, this is really nice. The eyes are like super saturated. I would pull back the saturation on these eyes just a touch. But like the softness on the skin is looking great. This rim light is a little bit too strong, and we're getting a lot of blur up here. But then this around his back is super crispy. It'd be nice to get a little bit of edge blur on that. Love this rim that we're getting up on his chin, just like really defining the shape and the silhouette beautifully. And then in terms of the rose itself, it's pretty. I'm okay with the petal being this saturated, but the stem being that green is a little bit. It's a little bit strong, so I would just pull that back. It would be nice when there's this much connection between the character and his gaze and the flower to see like a little flower reflection in his eye. It really, like, it doesn't make sense necessarily, but it really kind of ties the emotional connection to that together. It's looking great, very straightforward, just like classic strong character lighting. The fill light's looking a little strong saturated purple, but that's totally fine depending on what your reference is. It would be nice to get a little bit of darkening around the edges of the eye whites, like just to kind of ground them into the eye a little bit more. And then there's these like kind of weird white reflections on the opposite side of the ding that you may want to tighten up. And then also you want this ding and this ding to be in like the kind of the same spot. When it's this perfect, you want it to like, basically you want to move this one up just a little bit to like here. It's just like, it's kind of cross-eyed a little bit. And watch out for the framing on this. It's just, we're kind of just clipping off the top of his head, and that's not always ideal. This one's a little bit better because it gives a little breathing room here. Skin's looking a little bit saturated, but overall, again, great shaping, great light to soft fall off. I would love to see this back here get a little darker, a little faster, and then to try and find some more shaping in his irises. But again, just like you're nailing the shaping, you're nailing the general look, and then these black and white images are really nice. The glow on this is it's very tight and very strong. It would be nice to kind of diffuse that and soften it a little bit. This one I like a lot better, but again, I think we can tone down the bright glowiness and just kind of diffuse and soften it just up a little bit. Okay. DePauli, we talked about this one a lot. I just think we need to get some more hue saturation or hue difference in the background here from the foreground. That brightness, I see what you're going for in the reflection of the eyes, but the lighting isn't strong enough on him, on his face, to really dictate that much. So I would take that way down. But I love the rim you're getting back here now. And again, like the shaping along the back of the couch, all that stuff is looking great. It's just, and then just like getting these light sources to be a little brighter, so they're not quite so clipped off. Kind of like, you know, like the value in your reference there would be nice. Forest. Very, very cool stuff. Love the movie. Love the color palette that you've decided upon here. Eyeglasses are really, really tough, as you're noticing. The coolness in your eyeglasses can be toned down quite a bit. They're much more transparent than that. And it's much more about being a reflection than it is being a shift in the hue. Looking at his skin tone across his forehead, you're seeing like little pockets of specularity in there, and it'd be nice to get some little bit in there as well. And let's see. Yeah, same thing across his lips, just like a little bit of specularity going around there. In terms of the values, yeah, it feels pretty good. The skin tone's feeling a little bit on the green side, and I would like to see a little bit more of a contrast shift between the brights and the darks. Mostly the brights are okay. I just want to see these darks get a little bit darker in here. And again, just pull out some of that green a little bit. And same thing with the glasses. Glasses are looking very yellow, even compared to the reference. They look a little surreal there, but I think that's looking pretty good. Yeah, so I'd give that a shot. Maybe take down some of this dustiness. It's kind of a super soft rim light. Just take down the value on that along his back, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, good stuff. Fran, loving this image. Like so nice, and how it matches the reference. Love the color palette. Love the inverse of normally of like what we were doing normally with the eyes, which is to brighten them up. It's like it's shielding them, which is really helping tell the story. Love this lighting setup a lot, and think you've kind of nailed it. Nailed it really well. You've got that lower third eye ding. It would just be nice to get more of this rim along the, you can see it here, like this kind of extreme light happening here along the character as well. And then isolating this a little bit tighter than it is. But yeah, really strong image, just great stuff overall. Juan, again, winner. So we'll continue on. Juan Pablo, yes. Love the warm to cool fall off shift between them. I think it's a really nice use of the reference. It's just this saturation and this brightness is a little much, and then this is a little dim. The diffuse is fine. We just need to up the specularity on it. We need more coming across the couch here, more coming across the back. This feels very bright. That feels very strange. It feels oddly lit and super kind of like there's a lot of noise on there. Same thing with the background. Very large scale bump map that we could probably tone down. Yeah, because again, like getting a lot of key light here, but then just not seeing that in the background. Jules, take a look at the rep. Good stuff. Love the character looking up into the light. I think that's a lot of fun. Saturation point is too strong. And then in terms of the, let's see, pulls back up. Oop. But I do love that that we're kind of centering the brightness around the character's eye, just slightly soften that shadow. Let's see. Yeah, not the hardest of shadows here. It's a larger light source, so I would soften that up. That would go a long way. Same thing, like back here. Because actually seeing the shadow like that makes this lit up object feel much, much, much smaller. And that's not what we want. And then you want to darken around the edges of this eye a little bit. It's kind of bugging and standing out a little bit. Say that's a good place to start from there. And then, of course, the age-old problem of just trying to find more specularity in his skin. Just kind of up that just so slightly. Kevin, great progress overall. I know we worked on this one a lot in the classes. Specularity is really starting to come together, and you can really start to see it popping out here. I think you can keep pushing it further. I think his shirt now is a little bit too bright. We probably had you push that one up a little brighter, but I could just tone that. It's really just the cool saturation, and I would just take out some of the coolness and then tone it down just slightly. Take one more stab at creating some more specularity in the skin because you're close. It just can get pushed a little more. And then same thing with coming, like the way that we now have light to dark fall off coming across here, it would be nice to get that same light to dark fall off in the hair as well. So really great job there. All right, Matt, super specularity in the skin. I love it. We're seeing that in this actor. Again, second Get Out reference in the last few images. It's a little bit strong, so maybe pull that back slightly, only because it's super strong in here and then we're not seeing it all in the clothing. This shadow is super duper bright, or sharp. Same thing here. So really kind of want to make sure that we're analyzing that light and softening that, because there's like even this light in the shade would not cast that very, very hard of a shadow. That would need to be like a very small light source that's very, very bright. Seeing some faceting in the hair there. Just watch out for that. And then the shirt, same thing. If like the neck is getting that much sunlight, we'd expect to see some on the shirts, and especially on the couch too, and just create some more fall off from left to right going across the couch. Yeah, and then if just be wary when you're softening that light that you also soften this line right down the middle, because that's pretty extreme there. But yeah, that's like good stuff. Morrow, love this one. Still love this one. I think it's a really, really beautiful job. I do think that the warbling in the glass is a little bit too strong. But this is a very, very strong demo reel piece. I think you should be very proud of this one. And then we mentioned this earlier, just darken a little bit inside the nostrils here. Yeah. Maybe just a touch more warmth on the ears. Kind of like in through here. But yeah, that's it. Overall, looking great. Really, really strong work. All right, and then feels like it's strong TV light coming in here. Would want to see this a little more square, which would be nice. This outside light is very, very bright. I would turn down the sky out there. I like that we got this light back here creating some brightness. It would be nice to get more of this rim, like especially up around here, because that's where the light source is, and maybe just kind of creating some along the back here. I think we could soften the light coming from the front. Again, very, very sharp light to create some more softness, but I don't want to lose this specularity in the skin. It would be nice to kind of simulate that, but even take that light and kick it over to the right a little bit to create some more shaping with it across the character would be nice. Yeah, like this amount of moonlight on the background is a lot. Like that is an extreme amount of moonlight. Love the fall off you're getting across the wall here. Same thing with it going over here. So the structure is there, and I think everything's in place. It's just a matter of dialing in these values a little bit. All right, Rio Joy. Good stuff. With the Christmas lights, they're a little flat. I would make them brighter. And again, like kind of give reference point to the bulb, but just like go ahead and glow them up a little bit. They're a little too pixel perfect. A good specularity across the hair. These eye reflections are a little odd to me. I just don't know quite how to read them and how they relate to this light coming across his face. I'm just not really sure because they don't like this. Almost looks like there's a skylight up here, the bluer light, and then this feels like it might be like a movie theater. But then this is coming across, and makes you feel like it's a very different light source. But yeah, same thing with some of the other ones. Just make sure you've got good shaping, the good start of good shaping on the character. But we're really missing a lot of that in the background, like all of this around here, just getting some more shaping left to right, shaping along here. Not really sure about that. And then, yeah, again, and then across the bottom of it there, just like create some more shaping from the light coming in and moving around the space. Sharik, sorry. Sharik versus the reference here. I'm not sure what this is from, but this is good. This reference is all about these two colors and how they're playing together. So you're doing a really good job of that. The biggest thing is just the radius of the light, just too sharp. The way that there's a nice soft transition in the reference, like it just kind of softly eases across from one value to the next, softly eases across, versus here where it's like hard line, hard line, hard line. And we don't want to generate that. That's not what we're looking for. And so it's that soft transition that we're really going for. Look at the specularity on her nose, coming around her cheeks and on her forehead there. It'd be nice to push that level of specularity on this character. And let's take a look. Yeah, the values in the could be a little bit more spec hits there, but these values overall here and behind him are feeling pretty good. It would just be, Yeah, I think that's about right. So I would just continue to hit those notes. The biggest one is getting the softness right on those lights, and I think it'll be coming along well. All right, last couple here. Sorry to those at the end of the alphabet. You guys always seem to get screwed a little bit. Same deal, lovely movie theater. It now feels like after the movie's over and we've turned up the house lights. Overall, this feels a little dusty, and I think we can go with more contrast overall, like really, especially in these brights, like really push these brights brighter. Eye whites could go a little brighter. It's kind of monochromatic and like it's magenta and gray. It would be nice to get a little bit like of a cooler kick light in there, like a cool rim light around this side. Would be a nice color combination and really nice color balance. You can play around with that. But yeah, just more, like I get that there's a value shift coming down here, but there isn't like enough to draw me into the center of the screen. It's all kind of like a mush back there. And I really want to find a reason to kind of like darken the areas around this or lighten this area in the middle and just like really get this to stand out. Sylvain, God, really, again, just really, really strong stuff. We talked about this in the last critique. This foreground character is perfect. Idings are a little, they're just like, because they're so small and slashy, they just feel a little unappealing. But in terms of your shaping overall, just like light to dark, like just beautiful, beautiful stuff. I think that your examples of the specular highlight and the cheek here and coming across the nose is pretty much exactly what we want. I love this light hitting here. This can go just a touch brighter still. I love the separation of the character from the background using this haze. But it's just a really nice, straightforward shot. And again, nothing wrong with it. This was certainly in the running for the best in show title for today. It's just that it wasn't different enough from the original. It wasn't pushing the story even further. I do think that you could go a little brighter on the pajamas here, especially on the key side. Again, looking at the key to fill difference between his key side of his face versus the fill side of his face, I think this side of his pajamas can go a little bit brighter just to kind of match those values. But really, really beautiful job overall. And last but not least, we have Till from Drive. Very, very difficult assignment of getting this cool light on this warm tone character, but he did a really nice job. I think you can find some of the more warm values in the fills over here. And so I'm wondering if we can't put some more warmth in here, because right now that fill side's looking a little bit gray and dusty. And then we can also go a little bit more contrast on the screen right side. Maybe this is like a touch brighter, but like some more dark values in here. And then if you look at the reference, all this back behind him is out of focus. And granted, you know, you've got the seat here, which is fine, but then like you've talked about, everything kind of back behind this is starting to get a little bit fuzzier. But yeah, very, very cool stuff. And again, like if this is getting this bright here, we might want to put a little bit of light on the shoulder of that seat, just to kind of tie it all together. But guys, incredible stuff. Once again, huge congratulations to Juan Lopez. A huge win and well-deserved. And a great job to everybody who participated in this. Guys, it's so much fun. It's such a joy, and I can't wait to see what you guys do next time. So I'm going to end it here. But again, add comments. Let me know if you guys have any questions, and we look forward to seeing what you do next month. All right. Happy lighting, everybody.